Just made a video on how to control this little gray square using my right, left, up, and down keys. That video is called Sprite Movement in Game Lab, and we'll call this Sprite Movement in Game Lab Part 2 because I started thinking maybe you want to make a multiplayer game. So maybe you want two sprites that are controlled with different keys. So I already have a square and I'm trying to keep this simple. So maybe I'll make this one bunny and I'll add just an extra line of code giving that a different image. So I've already got a bunny picked out. Purple bunny there, and this line 3 here will give it that picture. So if I run it right now, I've just got they'll be in the exact same place, which is not really what I want, so I'll just scoot him over 300. Okay, maybe I'll scoot my square over and give it a 100. So as before, right, left, up, and down are controlling my square, but if I wanted a two-player game maybe where people were chasing each other or one person was running away from another one, or even two people were racing toward a certain goal, I couldn't use up, down, left, and right because those are already occupied with my square. So what I would need to do is I'd have to do all this same stuff again, all 4 if statements for all 4 directions, but I would need to do them for the bunny instead of the square. So a quick way to do that is to click in the white and highlight all the part you need, all 4 if statements, then use Control-C, Control-V, and you would make those again. And since this is going to get a little bit confusing, I'm going to go ahead and put in comments, square movement, and then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So after this one I need another comment. I forgot which one it was. I'll figure it out in a moment. And up here I'm going to put bunny movement. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there, I got it. And now these I need to take every time it says square and put bunny. And I'll just do some copying and pasting to speed things up here. So notice this is my original code. I haven't changed anything. And now I just have this new code. Just for fun, let's hit run and see what happens. If I hit right, now they're both moving in unison, which is kind of cool looking, but it's not really what I want. So a typical thing to do is to use your WASD keys as your up, down, left, and right. So that means my right would be a D key. And notice you don't have that here, but you do have A. So let's just put a D there. And then my left would be an A. And make sure you put the name of the key inside quotation marks. And that means down would be an S. And up would be a W. Now let's run that and see what happens. So up, down, right, left, and now W, A, S, D. So you can have 2 people playing the game at the same time, and you can control each one independently. Now, just for fun, let's add one more thing. We'll add another sprite, and I didn't actually have one picked out, so let's go get somebody. Maybe a cow. So I'm going to make a third sprite called cow. And I need to give him an animation as well. I like to keep those guys together. Alright, so let's see if he's on the screen at least. He's really huge. I could resize him, but that's not really the purpose of this video, so I'm just going to stick him in the corner here by changing his X and Y positions. Okay, so up, down, left, right still works for this guy. WASD still works for this guy. But nothing is yet making the cow move, and that's what I'd like to show you now. I need to be inside the draw loop, so I'll come down here to the bottom, and just to remind myself later, I'll throw in cow movement comment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an X and a Y for the cow. So cow.x is going to be equal to something, cow.y is going to be equal to something. And instead of using that counter pattern like I've always done, instead inside the world drawer of the toolbox, I'm going to say cow.x equals world.mousex and cow.y equals world.mousey. And if I did that right, then now the cow is controlled with my mouse, and the bunny is controlled with WASD, and the square is controlled with up, down, left, and right. So now you could even have a 3-player game. And that's it for multiplayer sprite movement.